What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ruben, and if you're following along, I'm doing a series from my private pilot license all the way into my commercial rating, showing you guys all the obstacles, all the challenges, everything I have to go through to get all these ratings. I recently passed my private pilot license not too long ago, and I am now working on my instrument rating. As you see the title of this video, I have officially passed my written exam. Thank God. That took a few months. Honestly, I really only studied for it for about like 2 weeks, I would say. I have my iPad here, so I might keep on looking there a little bit. But so happy that I passed that written exam. I'm going to tell you guys the way I studied for it and kind of everything I did to pass that written exam. But before that, I kind of want to just talk about my training as a whole. I think it's been like 2 months actually since I updated you guys, so it's kind of been like the longest break of me not posting a video and just letting you guys know what's going on. So, let me zoom this in a little bit, get you guys involved. Alright, so, instrument rating. The way my school does it is they have us fly alone like a lot. And a lot of solo time to practice the approaches on your own. You kind of do like a dual flight maybe every 2 weeks, and between that time you're kind of just soloing a bunch. So, and another thing is that they have you fly solo pretty much only at night. So that's been a whole challenge as a whole, because you get your private pilot license and now the school's kind of just sending you off on your own a whole bunch. And it's like, to be honest, it's still weird getting in that plane alone. Like, it's still like, oh my God, like I'm allowed to take this plane all on my own and go anywhere I want. It's kind of cool, but at the same time, especially at night, it's pretty scary because flying at night, it's like pitch black. And I fly in Arizona and there's just a ton of mountains here. So you really have to be aware of terrain and things like that. But yeah, I think I've gone now like over 30 solo hours, which is a good amount of time. I was talking to another student from a different school, and they don't let their students solo at all. And a lot of the instructors that I'm with always say like they could see a huge difference from a person that has a lot of solo time, a student that has a lot of solo time, to a student that doesn't have any solo time. I will say it's made me a whole lot more confident. Like, now I do the Bravo transition with ease. Like, I'm just so much more, like, the way I see it the most, where I see the improvement the most, is on the comms. Like, I'm nasty on the comms now. Like, anyway, yeah, whole lot more confident in that plane. Anyway, so what they're having me do next is the 250 nautical miles. My school they combine instrument and commercial, so I kind of knock out both at the same time. That way when I do get to my commercial rating, I already have like all my hours and things like that. As far as the ground knowledge goes, I'm still doing probably at least one ground lesson per week. And to be honest, I'm still forgetting a lot about private. Private is a beast, and like there's just so much information where you're bound to like forget something if you're not constantly on it. I think my biggest problem is I work 4 days a week and I fly only 3 days a week, and the 4 days that I'm at work, I'm like zero aviation. I think that's the biggest thing that has to change. I have to study on the days that I'm at work as well, at least one of the days, you know. Obviously, the more you see it and the more you hear it and the more you read it, the better and the more knowledge you'll have. Yeah, as far as the approaches, the instrument check ride seems pretty straightforward. You have to do a non-precision approach, a precision approach, a going missed, a circling approach, and doing an approach only going based off your standby instruments, and unusual attitudes, which those aren't really too challenging. But yeah, it seems pretty straightforward, although it does get a little complicated if you look on like the low and route charts, and then if you look on some of the approaches, something's a little goofy. You need to know what everything means, when you could go miss. Those are kind of the main points. Instrument has been challenging in its own way, nowhere near as challenging as private. Private, the flying wasn't hard, the ground stuff was challenging because it's a lot of information. But as far as instrument, I don't think it's anywhere near as challenging. It seems pretty straightforward. Anyway, that's how things have been going. Super satisfied with my training so far. Looking to get that rating, that instrument rating, within probably the next month to 2 months. Yeah. As far as the written go, let's talk about the written exam. Not super happy with my score, but I passed, so I'm happy with that. I went through it through Shepherd Air. My school offers a ground school. I didn't do the ground school because it was like $500. And I was like, dude, everybody goes through Shepherd Air. I was reading all the forums on it. And everybody's like, dude, the questions are like almost identical to the actual exam. If you guys don't know about Shepherd Air, what Shepherd Air is, it's pretty much a question bank of 1,200 questions. And what Shepherd Air does is like, they hand you the whole question bank of 1,200 questions, and they're like, hey, for your exam, they're going to select like 60 questions out of here, and that's what's going to be on your exam. From my experience, I went through all 1,000 questions, whatever it is, and I think maybe 15 to 20 of them were similar, and the wording was very different on the actual exam. And going back on reading on the forums, what I saw when what I was reading is that apparently the FAA doesn't like that Shepherd Air is kind of doing this, because obviously they're kind of spilling out all the answers. So they kind of change a lot of the wording, and they're updating it a lot more, so people don't kind of cheat their way through. I think that's kind of where I'm coming from, what I realized on that test. Like, I sat down in that test, and the first 3 questions I've never seen before, and I just started sweating. I'm like, bro, like, Shepherd Air screwed me. Anyway, whatever. I mean, I think Shepherd Air is like $30 or like $50, beats $500, still passed, so I guess that's good. But honestly, if I could go back, I probably would have taken the ground school at school, because you pay $500 and you could sit the ground school as many times as you want till you understand it, pretty much, right? Yeah, so that's how my written went. I'm happy. I'm happy that I passed. Yesterday we went through all the like codes that I missed, not all of them, some of them, and yeah, the ground portion with every check ride is kind of the most challenging part of it all. But yeah, that's pretty much how the training's been going. Like, I have developed so much as a pilot. I was just talking to my main instructor, Victor, as you guys met on the channel, and it seems like just yesterday he was teaching me like all the private maneuvers, and like when you're in the heat of the moment, you forget how much you're actually growing and how much you're developing as a pilot and as a person. Like, 8 months ago, if you would have told me like I'm flying alone almost every single weekend at night, I would have been like, bro, you're tripping, like, no way. And now, every single Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm pretty much flying solo, and it's just unreal. Like, I'm in a plane alone, can go to any airport that I want, go anywhere I want, rent a plane. It's just unreal, and I'm so grateful and thankful. And before every flight, like, you're still a little anxious, still a little nervous. I still say like a little prayer before like I take liftoff, because you just never know. And especially with the current aviation news that's been going on recently, it does make you think a little bit about maybe second guessing your career, because it is a risk at the end of the day. And one more thing I have to mention from flying solo. When you're in your private pilot stage and you're doing your pre-flight inspection, you're kind of just like, you're not BSing the pre-flight inspection, but you're definitely a little bit more nonchalant because you're so much more reliant on your CFI. But now that I'm flying alone at night, Dude, I check that plane like my life depends on it. I'm checking the entire tire to see if there's any bald spots. I'm checking the wings, like I'm shaking that wing to make sure it's gonna be stable during the whole flight. I'm checking everything like my life depends on it. And obviously, that's what you should do in your private stage too, except as you mature during your private stage, that's just gonna come with time and experience. And yeah. Anyway, as far as motivation for this week, let me see what I got for you guys. So, as far as motivation for this week, I have that everybody wants the reward, but nobody wants to put in the work for it. And what I'm trying to get with this is that enjoy this process of flying as a student. You know, you hear a lot of people say this when they're at the airlines, like enjoy your time as a student. And to be honest, that's so much of where I am right now. I'm in this instrument phase and I've just been really taking it all in and just enjoying the process. Don't try to rush the process. Dude, if your check ride's in 2 or 3 months or 4 months, who cares? At the end of the day, know that information, enjoy that information, try to soak as much in as you can, but eventually you're gonna get that reward. And just continue pushing. I know we're gaining hours slowly. I just counted up all my hours. I'm almost like at 160 hours. Dude, we're climbing slowly but steady, but eventually we're going to get there, and eventually you guys are going to tune in one day, and I'm going to be at an airline, and it's just going to be like, bro, where the heck did time go? So enjoy this moment. Rent a plane. You're a private pilot now, hopefully, and rent a plane, fly your family, fly your wife, fly your parents, and enjoy that, because once you're at the airlines, a lot of people kind of just go to their job and don't enjoy that general aviation type of flying anymore. So enjoy the process, the progress, and take pride in the struggle, you know? Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys maybe in like a month. I don't know how often I'm going to be making these videos anymore. But every big update, I'll definitely keep you guys posted. Thank you guys so much for watching, and continue flying. Peace.